Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of the Final Fantasy Legend. When we last left off, we were in this area where there's a bunch of these squid monsters, but they're hanging around in a very arid area. They're thirsty, they need water. Hasn't rained in a long time for them, so, wonder if, what we can do to help them out, because, you know, we're gonna have to help them out. We're the heroes, so. Well, let's head on up. Maybe we can find some help up on the next floor. So, see what we can do. Maybe somebody above us can help out these octopi. So, alright, crawler meat, an antlion. Probably better than whatever we had there. Definitely more hit points. A little bit better, looks like it. So, Catwoman had the good weapon, but that's okay. Got a new helmet here for Prin. We haven't had a new helmet in a while, so yeah, still wearing the silver helmet back from the second world. So, use up our potions here, because there's going to be a lot of treasure coming up shortly, so might have to drop that silver helmet. It's not worth a whole bunch of, not worth a whole lot. So, and the monster's given more than enough money to make up for the small amount we'll lose by just dropping off that silver helmet. So, if we need inventory space. Even though we defeated it, it still procured its special body, so. Getting into lots of battles here. Unfortunately, none of these enemies are new enemies, so. We're seeing the effectiveness of the P-knife there. Gives some good damage. Almost doing as much as Prin is doing there with her battle sword, so. The battle sword is an older weapon, obviously from World 2, to answer that riddle. Oh, got a bunch of paralysis there, so. Alright. Luckily, paralysis is one of those status ailments that end at the end of battle, so. I can't swim. I didn't do it. There's a hole at the bottom of the lake. Bob started it. And I'm sorry, it's my fault. I threw garbage in the lake. Uh-oh. So the garbage just clogged the bottom. Oh! And we unclogged the bottom. And that means that the water now from the lake above is now coming down into this area. So all these octopi people are all happy. Woohoo! And I guess the people above us are going to be happy too, because the water kept rising. They said some of them said they were gonna drown because they couldn't swim. So, hey, we saved 2 small little minor worlds. So, and we ain't gonna get a reward other than feeling good for saving those 6 octopi in that world. But in the world where we drained the lake, that little side world coming up, there will be a word there. So, because now that the lake is gonna be dried out, there's going to be a lot of stuff uncovered, including an area we can get a lot of treasure. So let's head back up to that side world where we unclogged the lake. Now apparently in the Japanese version, the name for the Bob character who started it all, who clogged the lake with garbage, the hole with garbage, it's a different name, but it's supposedly some type of pun. But the translation, obviously, they realized that the pun wouldn't go over, I guess, with American audiences, so they just changed it to Bob. Good old common name of Bob. So, let's take out these guys here. Jellies and their families can be kind of annoying because they have that O weapon. So, use spells if you got them. Unfortunately, our Titan, even though it's a final level monster, or second to last tier monster, has pretty low mana, so its fire's not really going to do too much damage. It's more of a strength-based monster because it has 99 strength, which is good for single targeting, but you know, it doesn't have any strong multi-targeting strength attacks. So yeah, that's the problem with strength attacks. There's no real multi-targeting strength attacks. So now there is a sword eventually that can multi-target hit an entire group. You get that much later in the game, but the problem with that is, like a lot of other things in this game, it is bugged. So, but we'll go over that when we get to it. So, Ashura is the Archfiend. Ashura sent forth his 4 fiends. Let's play a game. I'm Genbu, the Black Turtle. I'm Sirayu, the Blue Dragon. I'm Bayuko, the White Tiger, and I'm Suzaka, the Red Bird. He's the only one we haven't met yet. But speaking of Bayuko, I didn't really go over a lot of him the other episodes. So he is the White Tiger, and he represents the direction of west, the season of fall, the color white, and the element of metal. Remember, like I said, in Japan, they have different elements other than the Western 4 elements of earth, water, wind, and fire. They have wood, fire, metal, water, so they have a few other additional ones. So, got a large group of harpies there. We'll take them out with our death. And then we'll try to crowd control these dragons with the sleep spell. Strict is also another crowd control type thing. It basically paralyzes enemies, so it's good we have 2 monsters with crowd control. So leader of the harpy. Ghoul, undead monster, another X potion, and we're overloaded, so maybe we can drop that silver helmet. Donk. Guess the other option would be to drop maybe the X potion, but we can end up using that X potion. So elixir's pretty good. Like I said, they're like a single target in, so they restore all hit point, magic points, and they remove all statuses. So they refill abilities too. So, but I guess you can almost look at them maybe more like a sleeping bag from Final Fantasy VI. It's basically an inn for 1 person, so keep heading on up, and we're almost near the where we want to go, the next area. So got a bunch of wrestlers there, so we'll P-Fangs for Paralysis Fangs, another crowd control thing. They can paralyze an enemy. Let's see if they work. That 4 horns is pretty deadly, so we missed. So yeah, it's the first attack of the 4 horns does, you know, regular damage. The next 3 do less damage, but the fact that you're getting hit 4 times, yeah, that's a thing. So nothing works against Suzaku. You can only run. But that is not entirely true. That is why I've been keeping the saw. So just to show off a little glitch here with the saw. But we ran into an enemy that has immunity to death, so not too many of them. But it has its own little thing, the death beam, the D beam. So luckily it has low accuracy, so we avoided it all the time there. But yeah, that could instantly kill a character. So I think in the next game, the D-beam isn't an instant death attack, but it's a beam that only works on humanoid-type monsters, so. And down here we have these little spikes again, much like the spikes, they're basically the same thing as the spikes in that world, that little side world way back at the beginning of the game. I believe it was floor 3, where the people were kind of punishing themselves with all those imps, saying they had to become, you know, they basically purge themselves of their sins to reach paradise. So they're getting tormented by those gargoyles. So, but yeah, the spikes, they take off 1 point of damage every time you step on them, but you don't really have to go down here where I'm going. But like all the other times, I just want to show off the door to head up. So heal ourselves up here. Woohoo! Jelly is done. A gecko. That was an older monster too. So we had that. That was the monster we had before we made the. We went to fight King Sword. So he's definitely outdated. But the door's locked by the magic of red. We could assume that it's obviously going to be locked by the magic of red, because remember when we talked with those people in the world where the lake was drowned, where the lake was overflowing. After we lowered the water, the one guy said he wanted to be Suzaku the Red Bird, so he will be the fiend for this upcoming world. So, and we were told to nothing works against him. We're gonna have to just run when we see him, but I'm gonna show that that's not really true. So let's head on up. We talked with the Mr. Top Hat. So, whoop. And he's gone, because once we talk with him, and then if we get into a little battle, we'll whatchamacallit, he'll disappear. So I just teleported back down to the first floor, healed myself up at an inn, and then I just teleported back. So you don't necessarily have to defeat the floor. As long as you step foot on the floor, you can teleport to it. So wanted to do that because I wanted to fight this other rare enemy here. So the Clayman. They look kind of menacing. I like the Clayman sprite in this game better than the one in the next game. For the most part, obviously, the next game, because it's a newer game, has a little bit better graphics. But I think the Clayman looks much more menacing in this game than in the next one. So it's one of the few sprites I think that they did a better job in this game with. So but we took him out. And a Chimera. Also got a few new weapons there. I picked up a second lightsaber for Prin, and I picked up a bazooka. A bazooka is another multi-targeting attack, so similar to the grenades. So it gives Prin, our human, way to deal multiple damage to a group. So speaking of damage, one thing that we got with the Chimera there, one of its abilities is 3 heads. That's probably the strongest ability in the game, physically. It's even stronger than those 4 horns that the one monster had that we just fought. Because the Archfiend Ashura actually has the 3-head ability. And so to make it super strong for that boss monster, the Archfiend, they made it a little extra strong. So, but here we have Suzaku. As you can see, his defense is 255, which means that he is susceptible to the Saw. Unfortunately, you're not supposed to win that fight. So Suzaku's always gonna keep respawning. So. Now, the gimmick of this world is, it's actually based on Tokyo, the actual real-life Tokyo. So the tower looks like the Tokyo Tower. And, uh-oh, that girl's getting attacked by a bunch of adamants. So, oh, gotta take them out. But, Yeah, it's based on Tokyo, so there's going to be like a the layout of the city and the places that we're going to visit in the city are compared to certain things in Tokyo. So there's like an electronics place we're going to go to that's in the same location as like a electronics district in Tokyo, relative to the Tokyo Tower, a power plant. So, yeah, pretty neat. They modeled the world after an actual city. Thank you. You'll find a town ahead of you. Goodbye. Could I have your name? I don't think we ever get that girl's name, so we'll go get her brother's name, though. So the gimmick here is there's a bunch of tunnels underground that lead underground around the city here. And we want to take a lot of those tunnels because on the overworld here, Suzaku is going to keep attacking us. Amayoko town is to the northeast, but because of Suzaku, we're afraid to travel there. Okay. So, don't go to the pub where the gangs are. Another pub with gangs? A huge atomic power plant is in the center of the city. Here's our store. It's a two-layer store. And here we'll be able to, in the store above, we'll be able to, I believe, end up getting the hit point 600s. So it's actually cheaper to buy a bunch of hit point 200s, because the hit point 600s that we're going to be buying, they can give at max 20 hit points, and they cost 5,000. So 5,000 divided by 20 is 250 per hit point, basically. The hit point 200s, they'll only give 1 hit point, but they cost 100. So it's basically 2.5 times cheaper to buy the 200. But it's just going to take a lot of time to do that, to raise your hit points by 1 up to 600. So it's quicker to just build it, to just buy it with the the hit point 600. So like I said, gold isn't all that important anymore. So now when you're going, of course, if you're trying to raise your hit points to 999, the max that's shown, you can go over it if you want. You can just keep buying hit points over and over and over again. But after that, yeah, you'll probably just want to use the hit point 200s, because hit points 600s, hit points 200, hit points 400s, all of them after a while will just give you the 1 hit point each. So, about a longbow there. It's just an upgraded kind of ranged weapon for either Prin or Cess will use it then eventually. So, alright. You have that suit armor there. It's a good defensive boost in terms of physical defense, but remember, we're going to have that elemental protection that the dragon armor gives, so we're just going to keep that for now. There's a secret path to the sewer in the northern subway. There's our House of Life. The drainage pipe of the atomic plant is connected to the sewer. Okay. Yeah, we always got to have a sewer dungeon in all these games. Suzaku will not follow you underground, and there's like a bike there. You can't find the key. So of course we were told to stay away from the pub where the gangs are, so of course we have to head in there. So, and much like the last pub we were at, we get challenged to a fight here from this guy named So Chu. He's the leader of the gang, but before we can get into a fight with him, that girl comes by. And she oh, Sayaka, we do get her name, so she mentions that, hey, these guys saved us or these girls saved us in the tower, in this underground. So, and here we learn that Suzaka, we can't hurt him because he has a force field. That's why he keeps coming back. And without the saw, you can't hurt him at all. But they're trying to make a a machine that can neutralize the force field. But they need some parts. And one of the parts is in Aoka. Another part is in a library. So, we gotta find a library to find out where a hidden town is, where another part is. And luckily the guy gives the key to his bike, so now we can help avoid Suzaku's attacks when we're forced to travel over ground. But can we make it to the library and to Aoka, the electronics district, where we can get those parts? Find out in our next episode. Thanks for following along. Have a good day. Bye.